Hey, I just got off of Instagram, right? Like, I spend way too much time on Instagram. And I caught sight of an interview between Ryan Holiday and Robert Greene. So, if you don't know them, Robert Greene is the author of The Laws of Human Nature and the 48 Laws of Power. Like, I love Robert Greene. I love everything he writes. He's just like an amazingly clean writer and well-researched writer, yada, yada, yada. And Ryan Holiday is probably best known for The Obstacle is the Way and, his work on Stoics. And one of my favorite is the Perennial Seller. If you're a writer, you definitely want to get a hold of the Perennial Seller because he breaks down precisely what is involved in writing a book that would be considered a perennial seller, meaning that it not only gets read from cover to cover right now, but it continues to be read 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, 50 years down the road. Like, it's the real thing, right? The real kind of book. And he breaks down his entire process of, how he thinks through and how he strategizes and how he researches and how he writes a perennial seller. You definitely want to get it. So the two authors have, they've got a long relationship. Robert Greene was Ryan Holiday's mentor. Robert Greene, if I remember, had been his professor and had seen great talent in Ryan Holiday and essentially pulled him out and kind of partnered with him on some sort of company that he was wanting to build. And he was using Ryan Holiday to do research because all of Robert Greene's book are heavily researched. But the two of them, after all of these years, who are still friends, they were talking about delayed gratification. So Robert Greene was essentially saying how much he admired Ryan Holiday because Ryan Holiday would invest 2-3 years into writing a perennial seller book, a beautiful book. He was essentially saying that the less glamorous work of creating something that was a perennial seller would far outweigh anything else that most people are after right now. And if you're a business person, we look around and we see the people who are quickly successful, who are suddenly making, the 7-8 figures, and they're doing it fast, and everybody's, applauding them. And he's like, Robert Greene's saying that that's not all that satisfying. You get there, and you get there in a hurry, and it's not lasting. This thing that you create has no lasting value, and it has, in essence, no lasting sense of fulfillment either. So the problem with our society, and the two of them were discussing this, is our society is completely built around instant gratification. And look, I'm guilty of instant gratification too. I'm looking for the quick hits. I'm looking, to get a project done and get some result off the back of it. And so, we've got to somehow balance our need for some instant gratification to keep our businesses going and some long-term gratifications the way a book project requires. Like, you got to sit with it without having any real results for a couple of years. And that's hard to do with all of the responsibilities and requirements on our time as a business owner. And yet our ability to do that, to delay that gratification, is going to prove to be far more fulfilling in the end. Most of us who've read prescriptive nonfiction have come across the Marshmallow test, basically measuring, the desire for instant gratification and the ability to delay gratification. And off the back end of that study, they determined that those kids who demonstrated the ability to delay gratification proved themselves to be far more successful in life than those kids who succumbed to instant gratification. Your ability to delay your gratification by investing the time, energy, and focus in a book is going to be far more fulfilling. It's indicative of long-lasting success, your ability to delay gratification and invest in that. One's ability to delay gratification is a sign of emotional maturity. So I'm all about that. How about you?